very meaningful engagement with our people here in the United States. And I'm a wiser person. I'm not the way I came. By the time I go home back, I'm a better leader. I'm a wiser leader. I've learned so much by listening to Kenyans. I have seen so much. And I must tell you, you guys are great people, that you have come to a foreign land and stamped your authority by succeeding. You are having businesses that are very successful. Where you are employed, you have made impact. Tafadhali mujipigie makofi. Pongezi. And that encourages me that much as we are having problems back home, all is not lost, because our greatest asset as a nation is a human resource at our disposal. And if you guys have succeeded here in the United States, where things are working and systems are right, it is clear to everybody that if we get working systems at home, things too can work. And I'm looking for that partnership with you, where we can work together and fix our country, because at the end of it all, east or west, home is best. And you didn't leave Kenya because you hate Kenya. No. You are not here because you hate home. No. You came here to look for greener pastures and to expand your territories and to look for opportunities that were not available back home. If those opportunities were available back home, you'd be at home. And therefore you have a duty, and I've heard most of you tell me you like to come back home and help us grow our country and build our economy. But it's only fair that as you come home, you cannot leave a working system to come to one that is not working. So it is in your interest that we fix our country. When systems are working at the right time, you can come back home. And we are offering a different kind of leadership, a different module of governance to right what is wrong in our country and to make sure that things are working the way they work here. And that is why I have had this continuous engagement. Before I explain to you what I think we can do together as our people from the diaspora, and we as a new administration in Kenya for the benefit of our country, let me first bring you to speed of what is going on back at home. I'm sure you know quite a bit of what is going on, but probably you have not had the benefit to hear it from an insider who has been in government, and somebody who also talks to many people every day to analyze situations and what is going on back home. What is going back at home is that the president we elected, most of you, ourselves, we campaigned for him, has turned against the people of Kenya and become a dictator who cannot be told by anybody, and he's running down the country and nobody can talk to him. And he has compromised the opposition. He has captured Parliament and Senate, and there is nobody to hold him to account. And since nature abhors vacuum, our young children, the Gen Zs, filled that space and became the opposition in Kenya and said, no, what is happening is not acceptable. It shouldn't happen, and it's within the constitutional right, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, to say no. And then the president embarked on a very brutal purge and reprisal against the young people, leading to very violent abductions, forced disappearances, and extrajudicial killings. And as a result, in the last 2 years, many young people between the ages of 12 up to 24 have been killed. Others have been maimed. Others have disappeared. They are not known where they are. And there is a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of anguish in the country, as mothers, as fathers, as all of us as parents, cry for our children. Things have gotten so bad that the president doesn't fear anymore to support the killing of children publicly. His minister for Interior publicly and shamelessly gave an order of shoot to kill to policemen and said, if you see anybody near a police station, just shoot and kill, despite the fact that a police station is a public institution and Kenyans have every right to go to a police station. Instead of William Ruto admonishing the minister for going against the constitution, he went ahead and issued further orders himself that people should be shot in the leg. A president saying publicly, shoot them in the leg, harm them, then take them to hospital on their way to prison. That is how callous he has become, and he doesn't hide anymore. It's the extent of the impunity that is very worrisome to the people of Kenya. That a leader who is elected by the people has the audacity to threaten Kenyans and issue orders for them to be harmed, to be injured before they are in prison. Even before Kenyans could recover from that shock, one of his sycophants, who is a chairman of the Committee on Defense and Foreign Relations in Parliament, Nelson Koech, went ahead and said the president is wrong. He's too soft, he is too lenient. They should not be shot on the leg, they should be shot on the head. That is a kind of impunity that is in our country. And when a lot of pressure came from here in the States the other day, because the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee in the Senate here in the US brought a bill to review the relationship of the US and Kenya in respect of the status of a non-NATO ally. They are trying to do some little interventions to deceive the United States and the world that they are doing something. So the president has now formed a committee to look into how to compensate those who have been killed. How do you kill people, then you compensate them? What he should do before he can talk of compensation is first stop the killing and recite his order of shooting the leg and recite the order of Kipchumba Murkomen of shoot to kill before he can even talk about compensation. Fine, it is in order to compensate families that have lost their children. But it is immoral to kill children and then compensate their parents. Why don't you let them live? Let them live. You don't have to compensate them. If they are leaving you, there is no need for compensation. So the president needs to admit liability, apologize to the parents and to the people of Kenya, recite his order on shooting the leg, countermand his minister on shoot to kill, then we can discuss compensation. But you cannot pretend you are compensating people who have lost their children and you have not yet recited the order that you gave for them to be shot. It's double speak and it's not genuine. Again, back home, he has messed the healthcare system. When he came into office, there was the NHIF, which was struggling but working. And you people know, because you take care of people back home. At least NHIF was working but struggling. So what we needed were reforms in the NHIF Act to make it more compliant, to make it more efficient, and to make it serve the people of Kenya. Instead, he scrapped it and brought something called SHIF. NHIF needed 800 million Kenya shillings to reform. He scrapped it and brought something called SHIF at a cost of 104 billion Kenya shillings. That is money that is being stolen. And the thing is not working despite spending that amount. As we speak, yesterday, the private hospital said that all government employees will have to pay cash in advance because SHA is not working. You people know because you are here. And I know you support many families back home. You know SHA is not working. And I know you are making